Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sherry. I am a aspiring teacher. That's the word I was looking for. I'm an aspiring teacher. I am going to be getting my alternative teacher certification exam. Good God, my alternative teacher certification through a program. I will be going through Texas Teachers. If you are new here and this is your first video, I highly recommend going back and watching my first two videos, but let me warn you, they are awful. I am not good at this. This is a new thing for me, so my last video, I was really irritated. I was really stressed out. I did go back and watch it just because I want to give you an update on things that have happened since then. That was 2 months ago, so I'm not near as stressed out as I was then, but with the last video, there was kind of like a bomb dropped on me, so I was really stressing out over the content exam and stuff like that. But I do recommend going back and watching those two before you watch this one, because I'm going to clear up a whole lot of confusion that I had in that last video. So the more I watched it, the more I was like, I could tell I was irritated because things that make a whole lot of sense now were kind of stupid in that video. I was like, if you had calmed down for a second and read into that, you wouldn't be so stressed out. But I had just wasted several months reading a gigantic book just to find out I wasted all that time. So anyways, I kind of wrote down some notes as I was watching that video because I want to try to make this as organized and as quick as possible. My last video was 20 minutes long. This is like my fourth attempt to make a video today. My kids are still yelling in the background. I'm sorry. They're supposed to be cleaning their room and they're in there like fighting. They're in the next room, so they're not quiet at all. So I apologize for that. But anyways, I wanted to just kind of start from the beginning, clear up some confusion, some things that were going on in my last video. So let me just start from the beginning. I did contact Texas Teachers. They did finally receive my transcript. So I gave them like a week or two to contact me because they were having trouble linking my two last names to the same person. So my transcripts are under my maiden name and I am applying for the program under my married name. So they're not looking at the social attached to this information. They're just looking at the name and going, oh, well, that's not the right person, so we're not going to put that in there. Anyways, what are you going to do? But that was weird. It looked like my mouse just moved on my computer and I'm not touching it. That's creepy. Anyways, it's right here. So they got my transcripts. Sorry, my kid was trying to mess with my door. They got my transcripts. I called them and was checking in to see what my next step was. So they said that somebody had tried to contact me, but I never got a voicemail. I never got an email, so I'm not too sure who said they tried to contact me because they didn't. And if they did, they didn't leave me a message. Good job. Anyways, so they said that I needed to take my, God, I'm clicking this and it's distracting me, that I needed to make my resume and submit that. That was the next step. So I found a website online. I cannot remember what it's called, but if I am able to find it, I saved a copy of it on my desktop. So if I can figure out what it is, I will post it down in the bottom. And I will link that for you. I will also link a website that I have been using, and I'll get to that in just a second. So they said that I needed to make a resume and submit that, and I asked the girl that I talked to at Texas Teachers exactly what they were looking for, and she said mostly managerial experience, some kind of leadership. I don't have either one of those. I have worked in retail most of my life, but I don't have either one of those to apply to my resume. So I did just kind of take it and try to make it my own, try to make it like look like something that they would be interested in. The template that I found on that website has like a section over on the side where you can put like your interests, and so I put like things that I figured they would be looking for. Obviously I'm interested in, you know, teaching certain things. I put my education information down. I put my bachelor's degree, which is psychology. I put my minor, which is human services. And then I basically tailored it to look like I am working towards a school counselor, because to be a school counselor you have to have in the state of Texas 3 years of teaching experience. So because my minor is human services, that is basically counseling, and so I used that, and I used some volunteer experience that I had at an equine therapy center. I put that in there. I also put down these conferences that I went to with this teaching class that I took in my undergrad, the only teaching class that I took in my undergrad career. I went to some like teaching conferences in Austin, and some other stuff. I did some observation. So anything that was teaching related that I could think of that I put on that resume. So I got an email about 2 days later that my resume had been accepted, and then they also let me know that I was going to need to take that content exam because my GPA is like right at that cutoff, which I knew was going to happen because my GPA is not great and I know it. So they did tell me that I was going to have to take the content exam, and so, you know, just like in my last video that I was talking about, it is no longer that exam that I studied for, which is the Texas EC through 6, but now it is the TxPACT exam. And I did clarify in my last video, which I had forgotten, but I will go over that again. The Texas EC through 6 exam that I was studying for last year is now rolled up in a ball into the essential academic skills in the TxPACT. So it's exam 700, that's like the exam code on it, and there are 3 subtests which you have to take all 3. It is reading, writing, and math, which really confused me in my last video, and it was just because this big bomb had just been dropped on me. But like, reading, writing, and math, it does not mean you are only going to be teaching reading, writing, and math. So let me just clear that up. That's kind of how I took it in my last video, but that's not what that means. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was really irritated. I was really stressed out. I had just read that gigantic book and wasted all that time. So excuse the last video, it was really just a hot mess. But anyways, so that's going to be the test that I have to take, and if you are wanting to teach EC through 6, that will also be the exams. You have to take all 3, the exams that you will take. Now, because this exam is brand new, there are no books to study. I did say in my last video that my husband and I were going to go to Barnes & Noble, and I was going to see if I could find a book, and that I did find some online. They were not what they looked like online. So they're literally just books telling you how to study for the exam. They're not giving you the information to study for the exam. They're just telling you the best practices, which you don't need a book to tell you that. Like, if you have a bachelor's degree, you know how to study for an exam. You've been doing it for 4 years. But anyways, so don't bother with those books unless, you know, in the last 3 months they have come up with one. But when I was looking into the teacher certification program that I originally wanted to go to, they had recommended this website called 240 Tutoring. It's 240tutoring.com, and you can go on there. They have the TxPACT exams listed, so you can go through there. You can study for those. I am currently working on the first one. They have like diagnostic exams that you can do. You can request one through your email, but you have to like log in or sign up, whatever, to get the results from it. Which, I mean, if you're going to be taking the TxPACT exam, you need to review anyways. It is suggested on the TEA website. It is suggested on the Pearson website. Like, you need to go in there and at least review what you're going to be tested over, so that you're not going and testing for 3 or 4 hours or rushing through it and wasting $120, because if you fail it, you have to pay to retake it, and you don't want to waste all that money. So I would definitely recommend this site. I've been on it probably about 2 weeks. I'm on my second section. I will show it to you in just a sec. I might as well do it now. And let me show you this first. I'm going to put this, like, if you can see it, this. So it is 240tutoring.com. You're going to be looking at, for the EC through 6, it is the TxPACT Essential Academic Skills number 700. You have subtest 1, 2, and 3, reading, writing, and math. It is 701, 702, and 703. So those are the exams that you are going to be taking in place of the Texas EC through 6. So let's see if I can do this in, I hope you can see it. Let me angle that. Okay, so you have your TxPACT, blah, blah, blah. So the first section right here, let me just show this to you. Sorry, I'm not at a good angle. There we go. So you have your instructional content. This just kind of gives you like a brief overview of what these quizzes are going to be quizzing you about. It gives you your flashcards for your main ideas. And then down here you have 9 little quizzes. Some of them are 10 questions, some are shorter, but you have to get at least a 70 to get through those. And then once you complete this section, come on, you have your other sections up here at the top, and once you get through all of those and you've completed the whole section, you get down to the bottom and it gives you 3 attempts at a practice exam. So right down here, I don't have access to these yet because I have not completed the sections at the top. So, but once you complete these, like this one is the meaning of words and phrases. The one I'm on right now is main and supporting ideas. You're analyzing evidence, author's choices, and information. So basically it's like a review of things that you went over in like middle school, high school, and college, things like that. And then it's, I don't know if you can see that, 240tutoring.com. Sorry. So that's basically a review, but you're going to want to review all that stuff before you go and blow $120 on this exam. Don't get cocky, like just study for a little bit, at least look over it. I've only been doing it like for 2 weeks, I guess, but you know, I haven't been doing it every single day. But with everything that's going on, all the mess and everything, school is shut down, so I'm having to basically homeschool my kid, one of my kids, and my hours have been cut at work, so I'm only working like 2 days a week, but my dog keeps getting sick. I keep having to take him to the pet hospital, so some stuff has been going on, and I have not been sitting down and forcing myself to do all of this, and I'm kind of getting irritated with myself, but like not irritated to the point where I'm making myself sit down and do it. But I really want to just sit down, go through all of this. Like every time I try to make a video and it's bad, I take a break, I do a quiz, and I come back and I do it again. So like this is probably my 4th or 5th video that I've tried to make today, and they're all just atrocious. So I'm trying to improve them. I don't know, trying to make it more organized than my previous ones. But anyway, so you want to go on there, do some reviewing, at least, you know. I hate taking a test and feeling like I aced it and then I get my results back and I bombed it like hardcore. Don't do that to yourself. Like, you're paying $120 to take this test. Just go on there, do some review, do one of the diagnostic exams. Like if you get on there and just do the diagnostics exams, that's fine. You know, if it says you don't need to study, then don't study. But this website is not free. It is $35 a month, but you only have to pay for it as long as you use it. It will self-renew. Yeah, it'll, whatever, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, so it'll renew once a month, and then when you don't need it anymore, just cancel your subscription. So, you know, there's no obligation to it. You don't have to keep your subscription. You know, even in the welcome videos, they say that, like, whenever you're done with it, just cancel your subscription, be done with it. But I do highly recommend it. It is a tutoring website, so I mean, use it for your kids. Like, it's a really good resource. Use it for yourself. Tell your students about it. Tell your students' parents about it. Like, it's a really good website. You know, you can tell them, hey, I used it myself for my teaching thing, you know, and you can kind of spread the word about it because it is very helpful. I love the layout of it. I love how it breaks everything down into sections and kind of lets you, the repetition is really what helps with it, because some questions will pop up in more than one quiz, and you read the passage, okay, I already read that, yes, you know the answer to it. So it's just the repetition that just helps it stick in your mind. So, you know, whenever you're going to this test, you're sitting there for like 3 hours, but this stuff is like so ingrained in your brain, like you should just breeze right through it. I'm hoping that's what'll happen. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen. I'm just, you know, speaking it into existence. But anyways, so now that the test stuff is out of the way, that's basically like all I wanted to tell you about, but I am just going to go over the steps again to get into Texas Teachers. I think I've gone over it like a little bit in my last videos, but I was at a different step in each video. So if you want to go through Texas Teachers, you apply online. It's really appealing just because it is completely online. You do it at your own pace, the same way that I'm doing this tutoring thing. And hang on just a second. Okay, I'm sorry, my kid busted in the room and I'm not entirely sure where I was in that previous rant. So I'm just gonna start from the beginning. You're gonna want to apply to Texas Teachers if that's what you want to do. But before you apply, you need to have an idea of what it is that you want to teach. You're going to teach EC through 6, you want to teach 4 through 8, you want to teach high school, middle school, you want to teach science, whatever. Have an idea of what you want to teach, and if you don't, that's okay. I was talking about how appealing Texas Teachers is. It's online. It's at your own pace, just like this tutoring thing. The only thing that you have to do in person is your observation and your student teaching. So the state of Texas does require a certain amount of observation hours, and then you will have to do like some student teaching. I'm not too sure the requirements on that, but I know that it's in there. It's not to the point of the internship, because I think once you completed all your courses, that's when you go for the 1 year of internship, and then you will have one of their, I forget what they're called, one of their teachers, whatever, that works for Texas Teachers will come, and your coach will come and observe you, I want to say like 3 or 4 times in your first year of teaching. So they will schedule, and I only know this because I watched that Houston Teachers videos, and that is where she is. She is in her, I want to say she just finished it, or this is the end of her first year of teaching, but I want to say she had like 4 visits from her coach, and they just go in, they want to see you teach, they want to make sure you're doing it right, they give you some constructive criticism, you know, whatever. So have an idea of what you want to teach. So you apply to Texas Teachers. They will call you and do a brief interview over the phone, kind of ask you like what you want to teach, if you have any idea why you want to teach, like kind of what got you interested in teaching, what gave you the idea, and they just want to make sure that you're a good fit. So it's a really brief interview, and then once you do that, you need to get all of your college transcripts. If you went to a junior college and a university, or if you went to multiple universities, make sure that you get all of your transcripts submitted, and then once they are submitted, give them a few days and then call Texas Teachers and make sure that they have received them. A lot of times, I know some of the universities or some of the colleges that I attended, like for my my associate's degree, I got notifications when the transcript was retrieved. I did not get that from my university. It said that it was it was received but not retrieved. Like they had it there, but they hadn't opened it, basically. So I did call them to make sure that they even applied it to the right profile, because again, my transcripts are under my maiden name, but I'm applying for the program under my married name. So if you're a married woman, you need to double check that. So just because they're not going to look at your social and see that you're the same person. They won't do that. You have to kind of tell them. And then, so anyways, you send them your transcripts, and then you make sure that they have those, and then you have to make and submit. I'm sorry, my kids are yelling right outside my door. You have to submit your resume. They are looking for leadership experience, managerial experience, any kind of teaching experience that you have. Put that on there, fluff it up, make it look nice, send it in there. You're going to get an email about 2 days later, hopefully telling you that it was accepted. If it's not accepted, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to call you, tell you need to fix it, or deny you access. I don't know how that works. They accepted mine, and then just a second. Anyways, I just had to get on to them. After you send your your resume, after you send in your resume and it gets accepted, they will tell you that it's been accepted by email like 2 days later, and then they will tell you whether or not you need to take your content exam. So if you have a 4.0 GPA, you're probably not going to have to take this exam. If you're right at the 2.5, maybe 3.0, I don't know about a 3.0, but 2.5, you're for sure going to have to take the content exam. Like I said earlier, the content exam is basically reviewing stuff that you went over in high school. I'm not sure if I said that or if it was my last video, but the Texas exam is stuff that you went over in school and then stuff that you would be teaching. So like your TEKS, your teaching practices, stuff like that. That's what was in the Texas exam. But they did away with all that because that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. You haven't learned all that stuff yet, so there's no sense in testing you on it. This one does not test you on it. It tests you on stuff that you learned middle school, high school, and college. Stuff that you already know, just a review. That is your content exam. So it should be a lot easier than the Texas exam, which is a pain in the butt, because I wasted all that time studying for it, and that's not even what I'm taking. But anyways, to set up your exam to take it, you are going to need to apply for a TEA membership. You are going to need that ID number that the TEA gives you. I think it takes like a day for that to be accepted. I want to say it was about a day. That or my email is being slow. You get that membership number, and that is the number that you have to use to register. Also, let me backtrack for a second. On the TEA website, you have to register for the exam. So whatever grade that you're going to want to teach, you're going to have to put that on the TEA website, because they have to give you access to take the exam through Pearson. So you apply for a TEA membership. You tell them, you go on there, let them know what exam it is that you want to take. They give you the approval. You have to go over to the Pearson website and sign up to take the exam. There should be some kind of like drop down menu or whatever. You have to find like a testing center near you. Typically through like a junior college, they have testing centers there. And yeah, so you just set that up, and then you schedule your date and time. Give yourself some time to study for the exam before you go take it, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you don't get cocky. But anyways, like I said in my last video, the Texas exam and the PACT are two totally different tests. That's what it says online on the TEA website, on the Pearson website. I think it's mostly the TEA website. Like, they are not even close to being the same exam. So don't buy that Texas book that was in my previous video. Just save the money and don't even bother, because you're not going to be using it at all. Anyways, I do recommend 240 tutoring. I just showed that to you a second ago. Use it for yourself, use it for your students. Probably not. I don't know if you're authorized to do that with your students, but once you're a teacher, tell your students' parents about it. If they're struggling somewhere, let them know about it. But it is $35 a month. So go on there, take your practice exams, do your diagnostic exams, review, and then go pass your test. That's basically all I've got. This video was really long, and it was a lot longer than my previous ones that I made today, and that's the same thing I said in my last video. What's up? I don't get it. They're still out there screaming, but I'm done. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I rambled, but this was like way more organized than my other videos. I guess that's just what it takes. I hope that you continue to follow me along. I hope that I get a lot better at making these videos, because these are just they're not great. Anyways, so please do subscribe. I really want to help some people out. I want to take you along on my journey. Even the guy upstairs is making noise, like, got it out. Please follow me, please subscribe, please like, please hit that little notification bell. It's around here somewhere. Just follow me along. Like, I want at least, give y'all something to laugh at. I don't know. Please follow. Yeah, I will see y'all next time, and I hope that the next time I make a video will be after I take my exam. For real this time. I said that 2 videos ago. So yeah, and I will let you know. I'm gonna try to breeze through this because school for my daughter is almost over. So I'm hoping, I really want to sit down since I'm not working as much, and just sit down and go through these practice exams and get through this stuff so I can take my regular exam and just be done with this and start my classes. Like, I'm so excited. Anyways. Thanks again. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye, everybody.